Well, hello there, welcome back to another Pasio Tower video. Today we'll be tackling Bug Tower. I have hyped this up since they announced the reruns of the Arc Suit. I'm like, once I get Arc Suit Alder, Bug Tower. And indeed, again, similarly to Dark Tower 2129, I need to upload this. I want to upload this as soon as I can, simply because Arc Suit Alder banner is only 2 days. And so I want to kind of upload this just to help with people decide if they want to scout for him, because again his banners are only 2 days, which is terrible. I hate that. Regardless, let's go ahead and just talk about Arc Suit Alder. The reason why you need him for Bug Tower. If you don't have him, you will not be able to complete Bug Tower. Actually, Bug Tower sucks because you need 2 specific characters. You need Arc Suit Alder specifically, and then you need, I'm pretty sure you need Barry. You need Special Costume Barry, just because Arc Suit Alder is really strong for special attacker, and then Barry is for your physical attacker. I don't think you can complete Bug Tower if you don't have those 2 characters. Maybe you can get away with not having Barry if you have 5 out of 5, I don't know, Celine or something. But regardless, Alder is imperative because he just does a lot of damage. The thing about Alder's kit is he isn't really special in my opinion. I feel like he is a super simple character. He just does a lot of AoE damage. His buddy move does a ton of damage, similar to Ash's buddy move, right? It just does a lot of damage if the more sync move more move gauge you spend with it. But he does have a little bit of extra utility in his kit. He has potions, which potion is extremely important in his kit to stay alive. His potion is actually really strong because there are no really good bug support characters in my opinion. I mean, I'm using Academy Jasmine, and of course Benga is a good support character, but there isn't a really good bug tank, and so that's why Alder having potion is incredibly useful. And yeah, he just doesn't really do much. Alder just doesn't really do much, but he summons Bug Zone after he uses his buddy move, which is really strong, because when you're using him as an attacker, after you use his buddy move, hopefully you can finish the enemy off with that extra bug zone that he gets from his buddy move, right? So that's kind of the thing about him. He also, whenever he syncs, he reduces the sync move countdown by 6 because of Adrenaline 3 and because of his Sprint EX roll. So of course I recommend unlocking the Sprint EX roll, just because again you want that sync move acceleration as well as the extra stats that you get from unlocking EX rolls. But yeah, Alder is just a super simple kit. When you use him on the physical floors, he does have a lot of support in his kit. He's able to refresh his buddy move, which lowers the sync move countdown by 1, which is nice. He can refresh potions, which is nice. Again, he can summon Bug Zone 1 time, so that's super good to use him as support. He also has syncing with him, again, because he's an Arc Suit, it reduces the bug rebuff on the enemies by 1, so you're doing more bug damage. And yeah, it's pretty good. His Hyper Beam also, there's a sync retire where every time he uses Hyper Beam, it charges the move gauge by 2, which means that his Hyper Beam kind of costs 2 in a sense, which is pretty cheap. Again, another problem with Bug is that you don't really have good sync move or you don't have good move gauge acceleration. There isn't from the characters I use, there isn't really a good character that increases speed and stuff like that. So Arc Suit Alder being able to kind of use his normal move for 2 move gauge isn't bad. If you're using him as an attacker, then you kind of want to focus on using Hyper Beam a lot in the beginning of the fight, because Hyper Beam just does a ton of damage. At a certain point, you'll notice that I stopped using Hyper Beam because I want to build up the special move up next effect, and then I use his buddy move when the special move up next effect on him is fully maxed out. Because I'm using characters like Academy Jasmine and Benga, they help him gain that special move up next effect. Summoning Bug Zone, summoning Johto's circle, using Iron Defense. There's a lot of ways I can raise that special move up next effect with Alder. The thing about Arc Suit Alder is that because he's such a simple character, there's a lot of ways you can sequence it. So when I'm using him on the physical team where he doesn't do damage, then I usually like to sync with him first, and then sync with Barry, and then sync with Jasmine, and then sync with Barry. Alright, so I sync with Alder early when I'm doing physical damage. When I'm doing special damage, I sync with Jasmine first, and then I sync with Banga, and then I sync with Alder. And then it's actually my 4th sync with Alder is when I actually use his buddy move. So I'm using like 4 sync moves before I use his buddy move, which is kind of the sequencing I'm gonna go for floor 30. I didn't mention this, but at the time of recording this, I haven't actually done floor 30. I usually like to do floor 30 before I record this little bit for floors 21 to 29. But again, I want to get this out as soon as I can. I'm not sure how long it'll take me to do floor 30. So I'm just going to push this out. Hopefully I can do floor 30. But yeah, that's when it comes to Suit Alder. He's pretty simple, but he just does a massive damage paired with, EX Bug Zone and stuff like that. I guess I should mention that my physical team that you see here is Barry, Jasmine, and Alder. When my special team and the stats condition team is Banga, Alder, and Jasmine. So I'm only using 2 teams, 4 characters. It's pretty simple. And yeah, Suit Alder just does a ton of damage. I mean, that's it. I think he's an Suit that does like the most damage, which is nice. For the other character that I use, let's go ahead and talk about Academy Jasmine. So the problem with the Academy Jasmine is that I'm guessing not a lot of people have her. She is an Academy character, and so I feel like those characters are kind of not the greatest characters to roll for. I also have her at 3 out of 5 copies. Oh, I forgot to mention, Suit Alder, I'm going to try to go for a run with him only at 3 out of 5 copies. You can definitely upgrade Alder to 4 out of 5 copies. Makes it so that Bug Zone is extended more. And at 5 out of 5 copies, he can use his buddy move twice after he sinks. And so at 5 out of 5 copy, I think he's kind of awkward in the sense that, again, I mentioned this with Suit N. But if you have him at 5 out of 5 copies, it essentially changes how he plays, and you actually want to use the buddy move and then sync with him so that you get the refresh of the buddy move. So it's a little bit different sequencing of if he's 5 out of 5 copies. But of course, if he's 5 out of 5 copies, he uses his buddy move twice, so you're going to be able to do a ton more damage at 5 out of 5 copies. So, if you have him at 5 out of 5 copies, I feel like it's pretty easy to breeze through Bug Tower. But I'm attempting to only use 3 out of 5 copies because I want to save move candies to upgrade other characters. Talking about Jasmine, she is at 3 out of 5 copies for me. However, I'm pretty sure you can get away with 1 out of 5 Jasmine. The thing about Jasmine is that she is able to really buff your Suit Alder with Johto Circle, and then she also increases your Suit Alder's special up next effect by being able to use Iron Defense. Her Iron Defense gives the special up next effect on your whole team. So that's super strong with Jasmine. She also is able to summon Bug Zone from her EX roll, and she has a Synchro tile at 3 out of 5 copies to summon it when you use Bug Buzz. So she's able to summon Bug Zone twice in that sense. First time with her sync move is extended, which is nice. But of course, if you use with her normal move, it's not going to be extended. Another thing about Jasmine is that she's able to apply the special break effect. And so that's incredibly strong. So that special break effect is going to improve your Suit Alder's damage. And so you want to, it's interesting because if you have her at 3 out of 5 copies, you want to delay her Bug Buzz because you want to, delay summoning Bug Zone. However, you also want to apply special break early, and so it's a little bit awkward. If you have Jasmine at like 1 out of 5 copy, then you can go ahead and use Bug Buzz early, I guess, to apply that special break effect so that your Suit Alder does more damage early on in the fight. But I noticed that it's okay to delay that Bug Buzz and apply that special break effect right before Suit Alder's buddy move. Because again, you really just want to be using Iron Defense to heal all your characters. Because her Iron Defense heals your entire team, which is super nice. I think that's at 3 out of 5 copies too. And she also has Johto Circle Extension at 3 out of 5 copies. So 3 out of 5 copies with her is super nice. I upgraded her at 3 out of 5 copies for actually Fire Tower because I wanted my Jasmine to be super strong when I farmed for Academy Hue. So I upgraded her to 3 out of 5 copies. You don't need to, because I'm going to show a model run in floor 30 video. I'm going to show a model run with her of only 1 out of 5 copies. And so it's possible to complete Bug Tower with her only at 1 out of 5 copies. But at 3 out of 5 copies, she just becomes so much easier to use. And she's great outside of, you know, Bug Tower in Academy events. So that's why I want her at 3 out of 5 copies. Of course, I upgraded her to level 180. You don't need her at level 200 because you're only getting a little bit of extra defense and stuff. And, you know, she does give endurance to your entire team. And so that makes it so survivability is really, really good. And so, yeah. She also has a little bit of utility in her kit as well. She is able to trap the enemies. You'll see in the battle that you're seeing right now. She traps. And so she is a character that you'll want to use when you want to inflict stats condition or change. Trap is a little bit of a tricky stats condition because it doesn't last forever. And so what I did in my run was I tended to delay the trap effect just because the early damage didn't matter as much as them keeping that trapped effect, so that later on in the fight I can guarantee getting attacks off and guarantee that the trap doesn't wear off. So she has trap in her kit, so that's why I used her for floors that you need stats changes. So she has that utility, extra utility as well. If you don't have Academy Jasmine, I'm not sure what other character you can really use. I think like Bugsy and Cricketune might have some stats condition or stats change. I'm not exactly sure. So I'm just really happy with Academy Jasmine. I rolled for her before I started doing floor 30s just because I knew that I would need her for Bug Tower eventually. And finally she's showing her worth. So Academy Jasmine is great. The next character, or I guess I'll talk about, is it'll be in the next battle, but it is Barry. I mentioned earlier that Barry, special costume, Barry is going to be your physical attacker. Again, he's another weird character because he's special costume. So he's not a Poke Fair or Master Fair, so he's a little bit on the more difficult side to get. But if you have him, he was like, for me, the first bug attacker on my account. So I don't really care for Barry and his special costume, but I just wanted to roll for him as a good bug attacker on my account. And again, once again, he is showing his worth in Bug Tower. His kit is a little bit strange because like I just don't feel like he does a lot of damage. Like his sync move, like his sync grid is crazy good. Like his sync grid, he gets so much extra sync move damage, he gets so much extra normal move damage and sync move damage. And his Mega Horn buddy move just does a ton of AoE damage as well. But I just noticed that he doesn't do a lot of damage, even at level 200. I got away with using level 180 special costume Barry until like the last physical floor. During the last physical floor, which I forget if it's 27 or 28, I believe it was 27. I went ahead and upgraded him to level 200. I do think it's possible to get away with level like 190 Barry, but because of RNG, I decided to just bump him up to level 200 just for the battle to be easier. But if your Barry is like 4 out of 5 copies for some reason, or if your Suit Alder is a little bit stronger, or you have like another support character besides Academy Jasmine, then you might be able to get away with level a less than level 200 Barry. But unfortunately I had to upgrade Barry to level 200, just to mention that. But he's just strong. His sync move is strong. You know what? I don't remember if I unlocked the EX roll. I should probably check that. I'll mention it in the description. But I'm pretty sure I upgraded his EX roll. But if I didn't, his EX roll definitely helps. I forgot if it's support or tech. But either way, it helps him do more damage. And Barry's quite simple as well. You're just switching between Pin Missile and Spiral Mega Horn. I noticed that one of his sync grid tiles, he's able to lower defense. So you'll notice that his sync grid for like the first few times I used him didn't have that tile unlocked. But for the final floor, you want to have that tile so that he can lower defense, because he'll do significantly more damage if he lowers defense. Also, another thing I should mention is that he is using the lucky skill, like the special lucky skill you get from Pasio Tower. He's one of the characters that get that lucky skill. Basically, that lucky skill just makes him do more sync move damage. So you're kind of focusing on sync move damage more than you're focusing on, you know, critical strike 3 extra normal move damage. So I'm not sure if that's better than critical strike 3 or 2. Barry is I probably only have like 3 characters on my account with critical strike 3, and Barry's one of them who has critical strike 3. I'm not sure if critical strike 3 is better than, you know, his special buddy move, but regardless, that's what I use. I used his special buddy move throughout the entire run, and it seemed to have done the trick. Is there anything else I want to mention about Academy Barry? I feel like I'm forgetting to mention a bunch of stuff. I just mentioned Barry's lucky skill. For physical floors for Alder, I noticed that having a defense crush is strong, because his move is AoE, so whenever he lowers defense, it lowers everyone's defense. So defense crush is really good on Suit Alder for floors where he doesn't do damage and he supports Barry. And then for Jasmine and for Benga, I use Head Start 1, because Head Start 1, if you have Head Start 1 on Jasmine and Benga, you're able to kind of accelerate your sync move countdown, and you're able to be a turn ahead in floor 30 battle. So that's why you want Head Start 3 on Jasmine. If you notice that you're dying a little bit too much, then you might want to replace Head Start on Jasmine. You might want to use, for example, Vigilance or Interference Shield, so that you don't get flinched on floor 27, because floor 27 is the most difficult floor. It's the floor where you have to use Barry, but if your Jasmine gets flinched, then, you know, the run is kind of over, and so that floor is a little bit difficult. But that covers the lucky skills in the entire roster. Of course, if Suit Alder does damage, you don't want to use Defense Crush. You want to use Critical Strike 2 on him, or Critical Strike 3 if you can get that right. The final character to talk about, it's pretty simple, is Benga. In this run, I use him at 1 out of 5 copies. Again, I haven't completed floor 30 yet, but hopefully I don't need to upgrade him to more than 1 out of 5 copy. Benga he only really does 2 things. He lowers special defense, which increases your Suit Alder's damage, and he summons EX Bug Zone, which greatly increases damage, and that EX Bug Zone is able to be extended by, if you have Jasmine at 3 out of 5 copies, it is able to get extended by that Bug Buzz, as well as being able to get extended from Suit Alder's buddy move. And so after you summon EX Bug Zone, you actually have 2 extensions if you have Jasmine at 3 out of 5 copies. So that's super nice. And yeah, I mean, that's basically what Benga does. Benga does have a little bit more utility in the sense that his struggle bug lowers special attack, and so that increases survivability a lot, being able to lower everyone's special attack. He also, what was I gonna mention with him? His sync move also summons Bug Zone. Yes, that's the thing. So you want to sync with him because he is a sprint. I think he is field. Yeah, I think he is field, normal roll, and sprint EX roll. And in my opinion, because he's field and sprint, you want to unlock his EX roll simply for Battle Rally. Because we don't have a lot of field sprint characters, so he's just simply going to Battle Rally. But besides that, he is able to you want to sync with him so that you get the extra sync move buff for Suit Alder's attack. And you know, Bug Zone also helps in the middle of the fight, because he's going to be your second syncer when Alder's your main attacker, right? But Benga is quite simple. If you have him at higher copies, the most important thing, I think he unlocks this at 3 out of 5 copies, but the most important thing at 3 out of 5 copies is that when you use his Dynamax move, his Dynamax move is what summons EX Bug Zone. When you use a Dynamax move, it reduces the sync move countdown by 3, so very similar to Thunderbolt Red, right? But when he uses Dynamax move, it reduces the sync move countdown by 3, which makes it so that you can get stuff earlier when you have Benga. So that's why Benga at 3 out of 5 copies is really strong. But even if you had Benga at 1 out of 5 copies, he still is able to summon EX Bugzone, and hopefully I will be able to complete Bug Tower with him at only 1 out of 5 copies. Besides that, that's kind of it that I wanted to mention about the 4 characters. Again, it's pretty simple. I think all the characters in this run are very simple characters. It's a very simple script and very simple run. You don't have any flinching. I mean, technically, Barry can flinch with his close combat if you unlock that synchro tile, but I don't think it's worth doing something like that. So in terms of RNG, you don't need to worry about flinch RNG. However, there is a ton of RNG in Bug Tower. Even though your script is literally going to always be the same, as long as you don't get, you know, frozen or flinched or anything. As long as your script is always the same, like, or as long as you don't get like random RNG crits or stuff like that and your Jasmine dies early or stuff like that, your script is basically always the same. However, the main RNG and the main like struggle with Bug Tower is sync move cheese. Alright, sync move cheese again is the concept of being able to use a move like your Pokemon syncs, like right here, Jasmine syncs, and being able to input a move right before your opponent uses a move. You can see that right there I missed the sync move cheese. But if you're able to sync move cheese, especially with this team, because you do not have any flinching, you do not have any sync move acceleration after, you know, the first wave of attack, sync move cheese makes it so that you're a turn early, which is incredibly important in Bug Tower because you have a time limit of how much damage you can do, because EX Bugzone doesn't last that long, and then also all your characters aren't really tanky, and so you really can't survive many sync moves. And so for Bug Tower, it's really important to get sync move cheeses in. Let's see if I get a sync move cheese in here. I did not, so I missed both Jasmine sync move cheese and Benga sync move cheese. Certain characters you'll notice that you can, it's like easier to get sync move cheeses with, so like Jasmine and Benga you can get sync move cheeses in. Also Academy or Special Costume Barry you can get sync move cheeses in. I noticed it was Alder. With Suit Alder it's a little bit more difficult to get sync move cheeses in because he has the effect of lowering the sync move countdown by 3 and summoning Bugzone. Or not summoning Bugzone, I'm sorry, but he's just a little bit more difficult because he also lowers rebuff. That's what it is. He lowers rebuff the first time he syncs. And so getting the sync move cheese off with Alder is impossible basically. But also you don't really need it because he has Adrenaline 3 and his Sprint EX roll. But that's the thing. That's where the RNG in Bug Tower comes in, is can you land the sync move cheeses? Also, sometimes the sync move cheeses is not even on your side. It's that sometimes the opponent always uses a move, and then in that case you cannot sync move cheese. And so not only is it your side that, you know, certain Pokemon that you have can sync move cheese, certain one of them cannot, but it's also your opponent. And being able to sync move cheese again is super important. Is if you can sync move cheese, and especially floor 30, you'll be in the correct sequencing that you survive the double like surf. Because I think you get a double surf onslaught after the first sync move by the Suicune and the Lugia. And so again, I'll mention it more later on when I record that, but Bug Tower 30 is where sync move cheese is really important. And so that's the main RNG when it comes to Bug Tower. Because once again, the sequencing is very simple. It's the same thing every fight. It's just that can you land those sync move cheeses? That's the most important thing about Bug Tower that I've noticed. But anyways, that's it. Thank you so for watching, you beautiful the way you are, and I'm gonna go ahead and edit this video, upload it, and then I'll start working on floor 30. So hopefully that comes out soon. And again, you can decide if you want to roll for Suit Alder.
Focus. Okay.
Here goes!
Help this. Here goes. That's it.
Go!
Do it. Go for it.
Here we come! Now, we go!
Teamwork!
Together!
Bang!
Let's go! Here goes!
Help this! Here goes!
Around me! There!
Do it! Go for it!
To me!
Wait, Gramps!